that's bright, come take a seat on the beam. We gather where laughter meets. Every Tuesday's a trip, come share your flair. In this warm embrace, there's love everywhere. Talk it out, all vibes alright. Nobody's wrong in our light tonight. So join us in this cozy space. We're talking it out, with love we embrace. No topics too bold, no dreams out of reach. Together we rise, that's the joy that we teach. From stories of pride to journeys of heart, we celebrate life, each unique part. A safe haven here, where spirits soar free. Together we rise, that's the joy that we teach. Let the colors shine bright in the warmth of the night. So join us in this cozy space. We're talking it out, with love we embrace. No topics too bold, no dreams out of reach. Together we rise, that's the joy that we teach. Let the colors shine bright in the warmth of the night. So join us in this cozy space. We're talking it out, with love we embrace. No topics too bold, no dreams out of reach. Together we rise, that's the joy that we teach. With each word we share, we bring the light. Join the talk show, let your heart take flight.
Hey guys, it's SayCo Alford from the SayCo Show. I hope you're doing great. I am recording this from my home in Goodlettsville, Tennessee. And we, of course, only record the show from now on a 630 vintage Electro Voice microphone. God, I love this 630. It is so vintage, so retro, and I think it gives the show a really great sound. I want you to know that my life, soul, spirit has changed, y'all. Let me tell you, our country is hosting the Soccer Cup tournament through FIFA. And guys, the things that I'm seeing, not only on the internet, not only on the news, not only on apps, but actually from private personal accounts. These folks from around the world are having kittens over our country. They're having such a great time. They're crossing things off their list, on their bucket lists, and they're realizing that not only how big the United States really is, but also that our states kind of act like Europe. It's like going from state to state is like their idea of going from country to country out there. Now, I will tell you this. I have not been back to Europe since I was like 8. We had a huge trip and we went out there. But guys, let me tell you, I want to so go back soon, as soon as I can as an adult, because I want to be able to experience all of this all over again as an adult. But let me tell you, I want to go and I want to talk to the people that were here for the World Cup. I want to ask all the questions. It has really warmed my heart, guys, and their reactions to where I live, because many of them are either on the East Coast, where I'm from, or the South. They're traveling through the South, where I currently reside. And it's absolutely remarkable to watch the reactions. I mean, people are being drawn to tears over our sunsets. And I'm always honest, guys. I'm always ready to give my opinion. And I always try to be as honest as I can because I think that brings an authentic value to this show. Not only do I record the show, as many of you know, unedited. This is technically a live recording. It's just being put down on tape and in the can for the show. But I try to bring honesty because I think it's that special it factor of this talk show. I, of course, am always talking all things queer and gay because that's what I am. But on the other hand, I try to bring real life situations to the show and discuss it. Now, this is Pride Month, so I know a lot of these folks from around the world are going to run into some sort of Pride event. I can't wait to hear all about that through their social media posts. But these people are absolutely freaking out over our country. If you just get on that algorithm and just let your phone go, the algorithm just takes you to a whole other wormhole. These people are weeping and crying over Texas barbecue, seeing a yellow school bus, just celebrating the game in the streets. But what they can't get over is how generous and sweet we are. I needed this medicine. I needed the reminder. And so for those of you that are visiting from all around the world, I want to say a very personal thank you. This gay guy is thanking you right now because you have reminded me where I live, where I come from, and how special the country is, even though, let's get on the political soapbox for just a moment. This country is in absolute turmoil. It's the worst that it's ever been. But even beyond the political depression and situation, the dire situation that our country is in, due to the current administration and the clown that is in charge, God help us, people are still finding hope and pride. And these videos have warmed my heart. And it was exactly what I needed. I needed to see people come here and celebrate Kentucky Fried Chicken and going to have barbecue somewhere in Kansas City or Texas and freaking out over the brisket, freaking out over our sunsets. I mean, these people are setting their clocks so they can experience where they currently are in whatever state. They can experience how the sun goes down here in this country. I can't get over the response. Did we know this was going to happen? Well, we knew that they were going to say, wow, America's big or great or what have you. But the compliments have brought me to tears. The compliments that have raised my pride level. And guys, I'm going to be honest. I could get very emotional right now. I have been severely affected by the current administration. It's very hard to be brown right now. It's very hard not to look like what typical Americans think you should look like. And it's also very hard to be queer and feminine in this country right now. But let me tell you, when you least expect it, something happens and things get better and you suddenly realize you're being given a gift. These people have come here and reminded me where I'm from, who I am, and what to fight for. What to fight for. It's been so remarkable watching the videos of people not only just going into In-N-Out Burger or trying Chick-fil-A or what have you, But they're setting their clocks for certain reasons in these great cities that we have. They're setting their clocks. They're running out of beer. They're partying in the street. But if you take all the FIFA game away and you strip it down, these people have come with their life savings. You know, this ABC reporter was interviewing a big group of people in Boston, or it could have been Rhode Island, and they were sharing personal information and saying, look, we are using up our savings, our life savings right now to be here. And yes, America is expensive, but these are what dreams are made of. I mean, right now we're kind of acting like they're Titanic. They want to come here and have, you know, a good life or perspective of what they think the American dream and life and way is. And they're also saying that the media has been lying to them. There was one gentleman that said, I've been lied to my whole life. These are the sweetest, kindest people I've ever met. And it made me jump in my seat a little bit, because he was just walking down a beach down here in the South somewhere. And he said, this beach is prettier than what we have in Australia. He said, everything we've been told about pollution, crime. You know, one man was being interviewed and he said, I was told that I had a 1 in 50 shot of getting, you know, a gun put in my face and getting shot and killed here. And a lot of my family just didn't want to come because of the political views and all the turmoil that the country's going through. And he said, to tell you the truth, we haven't run into that at all. I feel quite safe. Another gentleman stopped out of town in somewhere in Alabama, and they said, or Georgia, and they said, we're going to Macon. Next stop, Macon. And he said, oh, be careful over there. This was an American telling some people from the UK. You be careful over there. Stay in the daylight. Stay in the downtown area that's been, you know, revitalized. And he went, oh, okay, we haven't run into any problems. And then his next video was, we are enjoying Macon so much. Everyone's been so kind and hospitable to us. We haven't run into any violence, gangs, pollution, trash, drive-bys. And I mean, this is what's going into the media. That America is crazy, unsafe, etc., etc. Now, guys, we're going to tell the truth. Where you have a lot of people, you have a lot of homelessness, you have unhoused people, you have people that are addicted to drugs, like any other place. Here, it's a little more rampant, but guys, these people are here with, you know, a little bit of blinders on. They're, of course, going to not our biggest, worst cities. They're going to the smaller cities. They're traveling. Some of them have come here for a month stay, a couple weeks before, a couple weeks after the games, and they're actually buying sleeping bags at Walmart, and they're sleeping in the vehicles they've rented, and they're just driving all over our nation. And it's beautiful. It's great for them to go, oh, I love the sauce on this, you know, chicken. That's great. But on the other hand, they're experiencing our day-to-day lives. But let me tell you guys, it has warmed my heart. And it's been exactly the medicine that I need. It's just been a beautiful thing to watch. And some of these videos have brought me to tears. Just a gentleman saying that he was overwhelmed. He left his boys. They're outside Texas Roadhouse. And he said, I have to just take a moment. I'm pretty overstimulated. I can't believe the waitress called me sugar. I can't believe we are reacting the way we are. I can't believe Americans have this daily. No wonder Americans don't leave their country as often. That's another thing that they've been bringing up, that a lot of Americans don't have passports. A lot of Americans don't travel abroad. And they go, well, now we realize every state is like a different country, a different land, a different dialect, a different food, a different culture. And he said, no wonder that Americans don't travel abroad even more so because they don't need to. It's so big and vast. You have so much culture. You know, another gentleman said, I've been lied to from the media from a young age that it was a scary place or that Americans were quite rude. He said, I have been called sugar and darling. I have been just given the red carpet. And what people don't understand is everything in the media is not true. Now, I'm gonna say it, guys. I was guilty of thinking that. I believed in CBS News and I believed in everything else for, gosh, a lifetime. But as soon as we started being told things that I knew were not true, especially here in Tennessee, because I was watching world news, I was watching sources online, credible people that were saying this is not true, that is not factual. And then I started thinking, oh my gosh, the administration has now caught on to lying to us, programming us. And now, for years, they've been saying fake news to, benefit their agenda. Now, I believe that the news is corrupt. So, of course, these people are shocked coming here and realizing that their opinion is so different than what they've been told. I'm so glad that a bigger chunk of the world is coming here and having a great time, spending some money and having a great time. But they're also making lifetime memories here. And that just warms my heart. Even though I am so disgusted with my country right now. Even though I don't recognize my country politically. What I know is this. It is a great place. I don't know if it's as great as it was, but to them, it's a really magical place. There's videos of them going into Buc-ee's or Bass Pro Shops, and they're saying everything looks like Disney World. Everything looks like a theme park. Everything is bigger and more grand. Everything has been thought through. There was one gentleman that said from Scotland, we have one choice of each item in a store. He said, sometimes you get two choices and we make a note of that. He said, if you can go down the street a little farther, but they've got two choices. He said, here, there are 4 aisles of potato chips. He said, that's what's blowing our mind. Our minds are blown because you guys have such amazing choices. Another gentleman was in Buc-ee's looking at the jerky wall that probably there's 300 flavors of jerky. And they were just with their mouths wide open, just staring at the walls, just asking themselves, who needs 300 choices? And then he looked at the camera and he said, obviously Americans do. So, we do take a lot of things for granted. We really do. We take for granted, number one, our scenery. I can't tell you how many hundreds of videos I've watched of people from abroad just looking at New Mexico and Arizona. They're pulling over in their caravans and they're saying this looks like a Western movie. This is real life and this is every day. This is not a movie set. This is a real place. One gentleman was driving through Montana and he said, I had to pull over and take a moment. I was weeping so hard that I could not drive. He said, and I'm so glad that I stopped and got myself together to get out the video camera and my phone and take some pictures because he said, this mountain has obviously been blasted for this freeway. But if you look in between the freeway and these two blasted hills, look at that view, which made him weep up in Montana. So, and then you see cutesy fun stuff like a young couple came across a yellow school bus and they said, it's not locked. Do you think they'd get mad if we go in and take a picture? And so they snuck in and took a picture and said, this is our bucket list. This is like what Americans do to our payphones, our red payphones in the UK. He said, This is what I'm talking about here. He said we can mark this off of our lifelong bucket list of seeing a yellow children's school bus. And it just humbles me. It warms my pride up a little bit, and it humbles me to, I needed a soccer game to remind me of who I am, where I come from, what I stand for. And all this has done is given me more strength and belief in myself that we can change what's going on, that we are Americans and we can fix this. We need to have hope. I challenge you. I always challenge y'all to something. I challenge you guys to go watch some videos online, especially if you are an American, especially if you're gay or part of the queer alphabet community, especially if you are a Democrat. Do me a favor, Mr. and Mrs. Liberal, please go watch some videos and let the reminder happen. Let that magic reminder happen of who we are and how strong we are and how blessed we are to live where we live, even in trying times. It just warmed me, guys. I did get emotional because I've never been in a room where someone's crying alone. I've always been very easy to weep. These people are crying at the sunset in Texas. And it was the medicine I needed. It was the reminder I needed to see this land in a new perspective, behind different new eyes. It's given me hope to push and move forward. For a long time, I've been kind of stale, and there was no movement for a little while as far as political views and hope, etc. And what this has given me, and little do they know, they think we're giving them the gifts of hospitality, etc., etc. These people have given me hope and believing that there is a chance for change and there will be better days again. God, I hope so. And I had to do a show on this because it was that special. And I'm not telling you to watch 75 videos about, people going to Texas barbecue joints and meat and threes and Southern soul food, etc. I'm saying go beyond that. Go listen to the man that said, I'm outside of Texas Roadhouse Fancy. He called the restaurant Fancy. Where he said, I'm overwhelmed because the waitress keeps saying, honey, darling, baby. He said, I'm overwhelmed at the kindness. Everyone around our table has welcomed us and said, where are y'all from? Please have a great time. Let us know if you need anything. He said, we're also thrown by how big and large the portions are, free refills, free bread. One gentleman went to a Mexican-American restaurant and he went, oh, excuse me, we didn't, touch this or breathe on it. You guys placed some salsa and chips on our table and we haven't ordered that. And the waitress said, it comes with the table. It's our way of saying we're glad you're here. Please spend some money here and stay. It's our way of saying we're hugging you, we're welcoming you. And he just could not believe it. And then he was telling people online and they said, be careful. That's a trap. They're going to get you so full with queso and chips and salsa that you won't be able to finish your meal. And then he said later, we had to take all of our food to go because we were so full from the refills of beverages and the chips and salsa. And there's stories like this that just keep going and going and going, where they are extremely grateful for the situation and, people opening their hearts and their restaurants and our ways, that it's just our ways. But they're very humbled by the fact that they're being so welcomed and respected and spoken to. And that's what you got to watch. Those are the videos that are super special, where you just go, wow, look how they think they're being treated so extra special just by a waitress going, hey, sugar, y'all call me if you need something. I mean, that tells you right there that they're from a place that they don't do that to strangers. They might do that to themselves, and in a situation where you know the person personally. But here, we just say that. Especially in the South, everyone is hun or darling or sweetie or baby. And it just comes out, make yourself at home. Come on in, sit right down and make yourself at home. And that's what these folks from abroad are trying to wrap their heads around. They're trying to understand the American way that is true in their current reality, and the American prototype and facade that they're being told about on their social media and their news outlets, of what a dangerous, terrible place this is. One gentleman in his video said, where is everybody? So he stopped someone and said, is there something wrong, or is there something going on? Is this a natural holiday here? Something's going on. Where are the people? And they said, they're at home or at work or at the park. This is a big place. We have a lot of people here, but it's an even bigger place. People are spread out here and they're living their best lives. And they just could not believe that they weren't shoulder to shoulder in a line, in a queue. The rest of the world calls it a queue, and we call it the line. One gentleman asked 3 people, where's the queue? And they said, we don't know what you're talking about. Do you mean Dairy Queen? They were trying to ask where the line started for what they were trying to get in line for. One young couple, they were so cute. They went to one of our theaters where it reclines down into a bed, and you can order food from your seat, and there's a waiter, and it was, a fancy place to see a movie. And they could not believe that they just had to hit a button and drinks and popcorn were delivered to their seats. They were just enamored that the seats turned into a bed. And yes, it makes us sound really privileged and lazy, but that's my favorite kind of theater, when the seat gets actually reclined to the back and you're comfortable. It feels like you're in your living room and you're comfortable watching the movie. We take all these things for granted, and it's been very humbling just watching the reactions of my daily life on these good folks. I'm glad they're here. If I run into anyone on the plane or on my layover cities, I'm going to join them and welcome them. I'm glad they're here spending money, of course, because we're in such a bad way. But I'm also glad that they're offering me a gift. And little did they know that they were offering me a gift of medicine. This is exactly what my spirit needed. I needed to be reminded of where I live and where I'm from, and that there is hope for better. And we are gonna get through this. Number one, no one lives forever. And number two, we will hold on to the best way we can to the Constitution and our democracy. We're also being reminded that there's a possibility that England will be playing against the U.S. on July 4th, the birthday of our independence, 250 years? We might be playing the UK then. And it's a sobering moment, really, if you think about it, that they told us, how to live and what to do, and they were in rule, and we left them and decided to part ways. And it's going to be really funny that 250 years later, we're actually playing against them, possibly, if everything falls right, on July 4th, Independence Day. It's going to be quite interesting if it falls to that. The other thing that's been really great is that I can't believe it went off the way that it did because, the administration and ICE, et cetera, was saying that they were going to make it a living hell for everyone to be a part of these games throughout our country. And a lot of people canceled their tickets, decided not to come, etc. But I'm so glad that it's actually reversed and backfired. It's actually just been such a beautiful, beautiful, special surprise. And little do these folks from abroad know the gift that they're giving Americans. And I'm glad that they think we're offering so much and have such great lives. It's a reminder that no matter how bad things feel here, we're still in a really great position globally. And it just kind of wakes you up. A lot of my friends have said, well, these are white people visiting. If it was brown or black people, would they still feel the same way? Yes. Yes, I'm watching black and brown people of all nations around the world come here. I'm not just watching people from the UK visit here. I'm watching all backgrounds, all nations that have come here. And they're making their own videos and they're talking about it. There was one gentleman that had a bottle of tequila and they said, you can't bring that in here. So he was stopping everyone and giving everyone a shot, and everyone was dancing and singing. There's cops that are kicking the soccer ball around. And this is what I grew up on. I'm part Latin. A lot of my people my bloodline is from Spain, the piece that is way up north, Basque country, that almost touches France. And, we love soccer. We love football. And so it's been quite remarkable to watch people that, weren't raised in the game, embrace it, that it's a party and that it's much more than the game match. It's a lot more. It's culture and it's humanity coming together, and we really are one. We really are one. It's a shame that we don't treat each other as equals in every part of this earth. But I'm so proud of our nation right now. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm very, very proud of the people that are representing a lot of us in these restaurants and museums, etc., etc. And they're giving them the first class treatment, and they're saying, we're glad you're here, please come back. Let me tell you, there are so many videos, guys, of folks saying, I don't want to leave, or we only have 26 days left here in the United States of America. And, people are already dreading their departure. One gentleman on his social media said, I was in my cab driving to the airport to leave. And he said, I decided, wait, why am I leaving? So he told the guy, turn around, take me back. And he went back to grabbing some beers with some buddies and walking the streets of Boston. He said, wait, why am I leaving? I'm leaving because my plane was scheduled. He said, no, I don't want to leave. I want to stay. Like, there's so many people that are saying that they want to come here and live here and pursue their lives here. And that's such a compliment. And it's humbling because we take all of this for granted. It's just really remarkable. I want to remember to say, I know that Canada Day is coming up. I believe it's July 1st, and there's festivals, and it's a big holiday up there, kind of like their 4th of July. And so I want to tell everyone, because Canadians are my second biggest listener, and you all are the ones that like, share, follow, download. So I want to make sure that I say a big, big, big happy Canada Day. I also want to thank everyone that's been listening to the show, whether it's a musical spotlight or someone's career or an idea I've had or the ideas that y'all send me. I'd love to hear from you. Our business email is thesaycoshow@writeme.com. And I know I say that kind of quickly every show, so I'm going to spell it out. Y'all grab a pen and a paper or your other device and type this in. The, T-H-E, SayCo, S-A-Y-C-O, show, SHOW, at writeme, WRITEME.com. So that's our email here at the show. We also have a call-in line. If you want to call and leave me a voicemail or send me a text, absolutely do so. If you have ideas, questions, concerns, 615-805-4363. It's been an absolute joy to continue with this show after the radio station. And I'm telling you now, we're going to be back for season 4. Come January, we're really going to dive into more men's health and more ideas from you, the listeners. This is your show. And I want you guys to be as interactive as possible. We're going to figure out if we're going to stay primarily on Podbean or if we're going to do more. We're already venturing out to several apps and platforms. So look for us off of Podbean wherever you enjoy your podcasting needs. You know, our last show with Travis Dean, a local recording artist, has gone over so well. I think he's already the number 1 show for the last 6 months of the season. And so there was quite, the uproar for what we were able to grab in that 72 minutes of an interview. And his song is truly amazing. So I implore you to go and listen to the last show. It's called A Musical Spotlight, Travis Dean. He's been on the show several times with different singles that he was releasing. And Friday night, we released a world premiere first look and listen to his new single, You Are Somebody. And if you would, please go and download it or buy it or do whatever you need to do to share it and get the message out that it's not only for the queer community, it's for everybody. Whether you've been suicidal or depressed or just stuck, it just has such a great story. So go and check that out. And that was our last episode that's really getting a lot of plays. I want to remind everyone that we're on YouTube. There's probably 30 shows over there, so go check that out. I know there's many of our listeners that are either locked out because they're under 18 or 21. So go to YouTube and listen to the show there. As long as you guys, if we put explicit on it, I think you might be locked out. But most of the shows are not marked as, not children safe or what have you. Those of you that are listening that are allies and have queer alphabet community children, I implore you to let them listen to the show, even if you have to sit in with them, because we are talking about everyday lives. My life as a queer man, where I'm living in the South in a red state with another man in the same house. And they've let us get married on paper, finally. We've been together 23 years. And I want your children to know that it does get better and you can have a very good life. And that's what I want for all queer youth, is to understand that it does get better and you can have whatever you want to have in this life. It's been a great time, guys, talking with you. And I so appreciate your support. If you will, please like, share, and follow. Get the word out that you listen to me. Some of you weekly, some of you daily, some of you are here for the first time, and I'm glad you're here. I'm just a feminine gay guy living in the South and talking about my life and my career and my journey with many things. The show talks about mental health, physical health. I'm in my almost 4th year of being cancer-free from testicular cancer. And my next scans are in January, so I'll keep you guys abreast of all of that. And I just want to let you guys know that I appreciate y'all so much. This show has been the greatest surprise, and it's been a lot of fun. Go out, buckle up. Be safe. Come back and see us again here just as soon as you can. And if you miss us at the scheduled time, we're always bringing new shows on Tuesday nights. Just go find us, guys. All the shows are available publicly. I want to remind everyone that the shows are copywritten But you can go and listen and download them, and I hope you enjoy them. Until next time, I'll talk to you later.